All right. So yes, good evening, guys. You're all welcome to our live session this evening. Today is Monday, the 21st of July, 2025, and of course, we're going to go through the markets. What we have, like I updated this morning, I said that the markets are opened and it's time to shop, right? So we'll see what we have. I also updated that my portfolio has reached new equity highs, and that is the truth. As of this moment, I am up in my running trades well over 30 arrow, well over 30%. I think somewhere around 32%. As I speak, insane. I have to say, and we'll go through these things in a moment. But before I do that, like I said, we have some new persons here, so I don't want to take some time to reach out, say hi, and so that we can move forward from there. So Godspeed. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, Barry. Yes, Barry. Good evening. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. I'm good. You?
All right, that's good. I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm okay. Welcome to our live session this evening. It seems like this is the first time you're joining us. Is that the case?
Yes. This the first time. Yes.
Okay. That's good. Welcome. So, one thing we do is whenever new persons join us, we get to ask questions, know how they are, who they are, and how long they've been training. It just gives us a better idea of what you do, and it helps us in the live sessions. For everyone here who are new, those new persons here, the live sessions are, like we've always said, a huge part of the education we provide, and it is very important that you come on the live sessions. So if you don't come on the live sessions, you, to a great extent, don't take the whole education. You're missing a huge chunk of it, and so the live sessions are very important. I mean, once you are very regular here, you would see exactly what I mean by it. They've helped a lot of persons here in the community, and if I would allow each person here to speak, time will fail us before we can conclude on how the live sessions have impacted their experience. But yes, so Barry, just a few questions for you, if you don't mind, please. So how long have you been trading? How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this like more than 5 years now.
About 5 years. Oh, that's quite the experience. That's good. That's good. So, what would you say? How has it been? Would you say you're profitable? Or are you still struggling? Can you tell me what this is?
Nah. Yeah.
Okay, so I was asking, are you struggling? Are you profitable? I'd like to know where you are, your journey.
Nah.
So
I
the
wouldn't
experience
say.
so far. That's what I'm asking.
Okay. I would say I make money.
Okay. So what would you say you're struggling with at the moment? What would you say is your struggle right now?
Just like being patient and then just sticking to the plan.
Okay, being patient, sticking to the plan. All right, now these are things I think we can work on here. So all right. But thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing your experience, however little. So being patient and sticking to the plan. Okay, these things are noted, and we'll try our best to help you get there. Now I have further questions, but I will not ask them now. I'll ask these questions as time progresses. Okay, but yes, welcome, Barry. Um, Godspeed. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Yeah. Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine.
That's good. I presume this is also the first time you're joining us, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Welcome. And just like I was asking, Barry, how long have you been trading?
4 years.
4 years. That's also quite an experience.
Yeah.
4 years is not a joke. That's quite some experience. And how would you explain your journey so far?
My
How would
journey
you
is like
explain your journey so far?
my journey is kind of like, let me say, tough. Yeah, let me say tough.
Very tough.
Yeah,
Okay.
tough.
And what would you say is the problem? Well, you've been doing this for quite some time, so it's not the first time you're trading the market. So what would you say has been your issue?
FOMO.
FOMO, fear of missing out.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Then risk management.
Risk management. Okay. Yeah, these are very real issues. All right. So I think we can also work on these things. Although we might have to go back to like the very basics and then adjust certain things we think we know about the market. We'll have to do that. But yes, these are things that we can definitely work on. All right. So thank you so much for sharing your experience. And I think we have okay. So I think we have Mr. Good evening, Mr. Cisse. Can you hear me? Okay. It seems like CC is not here. And also we have Lodek. Please, if I got that wrong, can you just help me correct that pronunciation?
Oh, Vlodek, yeah. I'm just the guest, just trying to figure out what you guys do, how do you do, and stuff like this. Because I live in Australia and it's like a 4 a.m. So I just logged in to have a look. I'm in Europe at the moment for a month.
Okay.
So I've got you for a long time, and I'm watching sometimes some of the trades, but not actively looking. So don't worry about
Okay.
me. But yeah, I just want to see, like, I trade like a wave theory thing, but like trying to look at so what other people are doing as well. Because for me it's really hard to wake up in to do all the sessions. I do Asian session and European session and beginning of US session, but I won't be able to attend the live sessions because it's kind of hard.
Yeah, I understand. I completely understand. I mean, waking up at 4 a.m. is quite the task, so I get it. Which is why we have made provision for these live sessions to be recorded, so that just in case you cannot meet up at a leisure time, you can always watch the live sessions. Because even though you may not be there to this
How do I record? Like,
live,
how do you? Can you get the recordings?
of course, all of the live sessions are recorded. You can find them on YouTube. So we post them using the company name. I will have to
Oh,
send
okay.
that to you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have to post that on the so that you
Because
can, yeah,
my
so you
wife
can
is
see that.
interested. Is actually my wife is big fan of you guys.
Oh,
More.
really?
Yeah.
Okay, so what you're saying is she's also here in the channel.
Yeah, actually, because we're on holidays, so I saw you
Oh,
guys. Yeah,
all right. That's
but
good. That's good to hear.
she's drinking, so she's not. She's enjoying herself today, and she's not trading.
All right. That's fine. Well, you're welcome. Okay, you're very welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. So I think we'll make progress now. And what I will do now, so just to explain a bit further, what I will do now is to share my screen and we'll just go over all the trades. And please, if you guys have any questions, just feel free to ask. Anything you're not clarified on, feel free to ask. Mr. Lower, we have an outstanding right from last week Thursday, so I also have that in mind to explain. But let me just go over my screen first, what I have, and after which we can get into the questions. All right. So let me do that quickly. Let's see. All right. So I want to believe that you guys can see my screen, correct?
Yes, of course, we can see your screen, Casey.
All right, that's good. So I would go over the trades and what I have on my watch list and also my running trades. Like I explained, we're up, okay, and new equity highs, like I said, well over 30% running trades, almost 32% as we speak. And again, like I said, it's beautiful because not only do we have 20% in closed trades, but if we close our running trades now, we will be up about 52% in the first 7 months of 2025. Doing all of this with less than a 3% drawdown. So yes, it is a performance that we can boldly and proudly speak of. But yes, let's go through these running trades and see what we have. So first of all, I'll just look at just the normal pairs in my watch list. So AJ, not much has happened since the last update I gave here on ADJPY. I'm still expecting upside continuations, although today the JPYs are slightly in the kind of in the reds. But yeah, long term, not much has changed. So this is AJ. I expect more upside continuations, of course. I would not look for buys until price has broken past this key level, which is depicted by the black lines. So the blue lines are to be considered non-existent. I'm only using them to test some new systems, so please do not pay so much attention to them at the moment. When I speak of key levels, I am only referring to the levels marked out with black horizontal dotted lines. Okay, so if price breaks past this key level and pulls back, I would love to take longs. In fact, on all the JPYs, I am interested in buying. Okay, CAT JPY breakout, which I think is supposed to confirm this month. Yes, so I'm also thinking of going long on CAT JPY, but first I want to make sure that the month of July closes. The price action for this month of July closes well above the key level, which is marked in black. Okay, what do I mean? If we go back to the monthly time frame, we can see that this current candle is breaking past the key level. Now, if the candle retraces below the key level by the end of the month, I will not consider this a breakout. But if the candle remains as it is by the time the month ends, I will consider this a breakout. After which I will look to take a retest next month. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. For those of us who are new here, these are part of the principles I use to get involved with trades. So a breakout has to happen first. It needs to happen first. This month, clear close above the key level, and of course, next month I will look for sorry, what's this? Okay, next month I'll look for a pullback, retest, go long. Okay, so that's the idea for CAT JPY. CHF JPY, I'm long. I'm long on CHF JPY, and I've been long since September of 2024. And this reminds me of Barry, who talked about patience and sticking to the plan. So patience, can you learn to be patient? You can, of course you can. I've been holding this trade for a little over 10 months. In fact, by the end of next month, I will be holding this trade for like a whole year. That is, if this trade does not play out by the end of August, it will mean that I have held CHF JPY for 1 year, 12 months. Is it to some persons it seems absurd, it seems out of the world, it seems like you can't do it, but you can. Okay, so many members of this community have been holding CHF JPY just fine. Some of them may have bought right here in March this year, which makes it a shorter time span. But whatever the case, this is to explain that you can hold trades. Okay, you can definitely happen. But yes, CHF JPY doing really well so far. Just a little bit more until we hit a profit. So we'll see if that happens. Euro JPY, clear breakout. I'm expecting a retest, although like I explained, price is like very far away from the key level. So it is unlikely that we might have this huge pullback to get a retest. Whatever the case, if I don't see the pullback, I will not buy. All right. Pound JPY, I'm also long. So for the JPYs, I have one trade on CGF JPY and another on pound JPY, and they're both doing well, as you guys can see. So bought right here in April, holding up until now, and I expect to close right at the next key level. Okay, so this is the update on pound JPY. And the JPY is very similar to AJ, which is ADJPY. So upside continuations for the most part, although I don't have any entries that I'm looking out for at the moment. USD still moving sideways, but still upside continuations, right? That's on JPY, it's just buys, at least until something drastic changes in the fundamentals of these pairs. Okay, so but then no entries on UJ for now, at least. Moving on, AD card, nothing for me, although this is price respected this level of resistance, and it might continue to do so. And if that is the case, then I expect more downside continuations on AD card. So I'm not selling. In fact, the last time I sold was way back in November 2024. I closed out in March of 2025. Okay, April of 2025 around these regions, and our price has pulled back. So I'm not selling here, but I expect downside continuations long term. Okay. Eurocard, there's not much to say. I'm long since May, and I think we still have like a long way to go. So this is the current update on Eurocard. Pound card, I'm also long. The guy is struggling at the moment, I would say, but I'm also long here. Bought way back in February, and still holding me longs up until now. Take profit remains at the next key level, which is around 1 to 6.2 hour. So we'll see if it hits. Now this is price pulling back, which is okay, which is fine. I'm just going to continue holding. All right. Enter the card. I'm short on this guy, and have been short for quite some time. Price is in profit. In fact, I think the only trade that is in drawdown, not really drawdown, but the only trade that I can say is in red is pound AUD. Every other trade I have is running in profit. So yeah, so enter the card, yeah, still moving sideways, but a little bit in profit. USD card, nothing for me here, to be honest. All right, nothing for me. Euro AUD, nothing for me, to be honest. Euro NZD, nothing for me, to be honest. I was expecting a pullback, but just like EJ, price is like way above the key level, so it would take a whole lot for us to see this come down and give us a retest. All right, but this is where I'm waiting for price. I will not chase price, but I'm waiting here. If price comes back down to this point, to this key level, finds support at the key level, then I'll be looking to go long. But until that happens, I remain a spectator in this market. Pound AUD. Yes, so I went long on pound AUD on Thursday, just a few days ago, and just a little bit of drawdown, just a little bit, nothing too serious. So, but yeah, like I said, this is the only trade that's just in a little bit of drawdown. Everything else is in profit. But yeah, this is margin on pound AUD. I'm expecting further upside continuations. So last opportunity was from here to here, and we have a breakout, a pullback. Now looking to continue the uptrend. So see that plays out. Pound NZD. I'm also long. Have been long for quite some time. In fact, I bought way back in March, and since then we've just had price go up and down, move sideways, and right now I'm just in a little bit of profit. Am I going to close my trades? Of course not. It's been a while since I bought, yes, but this is like I've always explained, that we don't place so much emphasis on every individual trade, okay? Because we run portfolios, the trades complement themselves. So even though pound NZD has been moving sideways for like say 3 months, 3 to 4 months, so many other trades I have been doing really well. So you don't have to worry so much about that individual trade that's still moving sideways, if that makes sense. AU. Let me see. And yes, for some of you who who might be wondering why I'm on the higher time frames, I am a swing trader, a position trader you have seen so far, and most of my trades are like on the higher time frames. I will hardly go down to the 1 hour, 4 hours, 30-minute time frame. Although 4 hours in most cases, but all my entries come on the daily time frame. Okay, and my analysis starts from 12-month time frame. So I am, yes, a swing trader, or maybe a position trader as you would call it. So that's just a heads up for some of us wondering why I haven't gone down to the lower time frames. AD/USD, I'm not so interested, to be honest. Although I am waiting for price to come back to this key level. Right, if it comes back here, I'll become very interested. I sold AU, just like I sold AD card in November, and I closed my profits in April. So since then, I have not done anything. So I'm just waiting for price to come back here and to present another opportunity for me to sell. So yeah. EU. So breakout retest we bought here, and we closed right here. So we closed this trade in, so it's instead of July, right? No, the end of June. So we closed right here, and I don't no interest on the guy for me, at least right now. I expect a pullback, but maybe we won't get it. Maybe we'll get the breakout instead. I don't know. So until any of these things happen, I'm still just spectating.
Hello, Daisy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You know, like I wanted to ask this question during our last session. I think that was last week. Because I'm still wondering why you closed your just like EU, why you closed it early. Okay, let me just say early because I noticed that most of the trades, like you always like to ride it long. You understand, like So I'm still wondering why you closed this EU early because I'm thinking like still have a momentum of still going long like further than this.
To explain that, it's not. I don't choose when to close the trades. To be honest, at least that's in all cases. I take my trades from one key level to the next. The difference is EU played out faster, so it's not like I closed early because as you can see, I closed at the key level. You get. So even though, so here's the thing, even though I can expect that price might go to another key level, I don't hold through key levels. Okay, if price breaks this guy and pulls back, I can look to get long again. But you see, when price gets to a key level, I don't hold past it. You get. The only difference is EU was just fast in playing out. I bought it in May, and it played out in a month, basically less than a month. So it was just fast. It played out really fast. That's why it seems like I closed early, but I did not close early. It's just one key level to the next. Some of the key levels are like very wide, so they will take a longer time. Like for example, I think pound NZD now is, you can see this, it's a huge difference. So I think the take profit is about 2,500 pips between the two key levels. Much higher than that. Let's say about 2,000, I don't know, 700 pips. But then EU, the difference between the key levels is about 550 pips. So EU will play out faster than GN. One, also EU is like a much more volatile pair. So I didn't close early, just to help you understand that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
All right. And so most of the trades we've closed in recent times have been wins. I think we can see that. Also, we also highlighted that even though we are 7 months into the year, we've only recorded 4 losses. Okay, and so we're just bringing back the performance. Okay, so running trades is doing well, close trades doing well, drawdown less than 3%, all recording 4 trades in 2025, just 4 losing trades. It's not been more than that. And again, impressive, right? Impressive returns. I can't lie. Moving on, pound USD. I'll go long on this guy, and I'll explain why. So, Abdul, this conversation would interest you very much because I know you've always had your eyes on pound USD, and you might be wondering now, why am I choosing to go long on pound USD? Because in our last session, I explained that I was expecting price to come down towards the key level, right? So why am I going long now? The same thing that happened with pound AUD is the same thing that's happening with pound USD. Okay, so if we go back to the 3-month time frame to explain the key level, like we always said, it's not a line, okay, it's an area, and the key level was somewhere around here, right? Just a little bit below this. But now you notice that when I bring this guy up, it is still the key level, right? It's still the same key level. The difference is we can now cater for this price action. You get, so I just like with pound 80, I was wondering what price would come down close to the key level but not test the key level. But I noticed after a second look that okay, it's still the same area, still the same key level. You get, and that's why price is testing the top instead. I hope this is making sense, because you see why I bought pound 80, right? The key level was a little lower and it felt like it wasn't a retest, but it was a retest. It is a retest. So it's the same thing that is happening with pound USD. So notice that I am not changing key levels. Okay, I am not changing key levels. So it's the same key level. So let's go back. So pay attention. Okay, please, let's pay attention to price action. So resistance here, resistance, support, resistance, 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 support, 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 resistance. So same thing, right? Same thing. And this level has been acting as resistance and support since 2016. I think it goes way back then. Right? Yep. So somewhere since 1985. So still the same level. Just that little difference is what is explained to us that this is a retest. Okay. So I've not gone long yet. I've not taken the buys because I was about to do that. That's why I gave you guys. I said I was going to go live in the next 10 minutes. I was thinking I could do that before we start the live session, but I couldn't manage all the accounts at the moment. So I'll do that after the session. But this is me explaining to you guys. So you guys have seen it beforehand. If I was sending out to the community that we're going long, this is you seeing it that yes, we're going to take longs on pound USD. Do I have my reservations? I do. Is it possible that pound USD can stop out? It is. It can very well stop out. Am I worried that pound USD can stop out? No, far from it. Why? Because I'm taking the risk. It's a risk that fits my plan. And the worst that can happen to this trade is that it stops out. And if it stops out, I will lose just 1% of my account. So I am not worried. Also, like I said, just taking just 4 losses for the year. I mean, it's not bad to take an extra. It's not bad to take an extra loss, right? So I do have my reservations in the sense that just like with EU and USD-CHF, the dollar can pick up strength and we can have reversals to the downside. That can happen. But do we know that right now? We don't. So how can we find out? We can find out by taking the trade, and the market will answer the question for us. So the question is, will price bounce here and continue to the upside, or will price break the key level and give us a bearish reversal? The answer to that question can only be answered with time. So the market will tell us the answer as time makes progress. So there's nothing to worry about, okay? Just a 1% risk, just like I've done with all the other trades. And we'll see what happens. So yes, I will go long upon USD. I will send out the details by the time the session ends, but just a heads up. Moving on, NZUSD, I'm not interested as well, at least until we come back to the key level. I don't have any interest. Is it possible that we can drop? It is, but right now we're just in the middle of the zone and I can't say too much about the guy. ADCHF, CAD-CHF, nothing, no interest on these guys. No interest in these guys. Okay. Yeah, USDC, right? I already closed this guy out. All right, so this is the most I have for currencies. So if you guys have any questions, please go ahead. If you don't, I can just move over to indices. Yeah, cryptos.
Casey.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, okay. Like, I think pound CHF, It looks like it's actually bouncing off back.
I wouldn't say so. I would not say so. I would not. Let me see. Well, okay. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Yep. So yes, including the bodies now, we can say so. We can say so. The only thing, like I said, is I will not be going long myself, alright, just because of how the price action looks. But yes, it seems that we actually are bouncing at the level. Yep. So any more questions? Because I'd like to move over to.
Yeah, Cassie, please, I wanted to ask about
Yeah.
GBP card.
Okay.
GBP card,
GBP
GBP card. On a daily time frame, I'm watching as a minor support there for yes the place whereby the black line is it possible to add another position from there?
It is. I wouldn't do that because of my system, but it is right. It's not
Okay,
wrong.
okay.
I think Carlos is long around these levels, right? So it's not wrong. Another thing I might be considering is, let me see. Another thing I might be considering, not me to get long, but even though we broke past this level, I mean this support level marked out here, price can still do this. Okay, so even if you can go long here, price can still also present another opportunity like a break and retest. So, but yes, you can. You can decide to add extra longs if you wish.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Yeah. And also, George, sorry, now we're on the topic. How's your portfolio looking? Because I know we've not asked this question in a while. How
Yes,
is your portfolio looking?
yeah. The last time I was saying I'm holding about four trades now, but it's still okay.
So you have just four trades,
Yes,
running.
please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yeah. What is wrong?
Okay. All right. No worries. But then, George, if you can, please, can you send me a message on Discord after the session?
Okay. Please, I'll do that.
Please.
Right.
Thank
Okay,
you.
I'll do that.
Thank you. All right. Any more questions? Please, any more questions just before we tip the scale over to indices, metals, cryptos. Okay. All right. So let's move over to indices first. Let's see. So I was just looking at these guys just a few minutes before the session started, and again, there's not much to say, right? There's not much to say. New all-time highs, or do I expect further upside continuations? Okay, truthfully, but there's not much I can say. Just new all-time highs. That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. I bought the lows way back in April, and I'm still holding my trades until so now. France 40. Not too bad. Just halfway through. Just a little bit more till we hit a profit on France 40. All of these guys are doing well long term. The third guy I have is the Nasdaq. So same thing. Not much I can say. Just new all-time highs, and take profits just a few pips, not a few pips away, but like just compared to where we bought, just a little more right there. So these are the three indices I have. I couldn't buy everything like I explained in previous sessions because of risk management. But let's move over to metals. gold. Interesting. Let me see. So it seems like we might be breaking past this resistance level to make new all-time highs. We might be doing just that, but we're not sure of that yet. So until that happens, I will just continue to speculate. I'm not interested right now. I don't buy into resistance. I can never do that. I'll only buy when price breaks out and forms gives me support. I buy support and I sell resistance. So that's the idea within the trend. Get. So that's for gold. Gold sideways movement. We're waiting for the breakout. If that happens, fine. If that doesn't happen, then it means that the range continues. Right? The range continues. So we'll see. Copper, I'm long, up about 3 hour on the guy, and there's a little bit more until he take profit. Palladium, I'm long, up 2 hour on the guy. I've been long with gold because take profit is well over 10 hour. We've crossed 2 hours, so just a little bit more to go, right? Platinum, took longs on platinum, closed in June, right? So, like I said, the last features we've closed out, we're all in profit. So, closed in June, I did take profit. So, we broke past it and we're heading to the next key level. I would buy if we pull back before we hit the key level. But if we hit the key level first, then I would just stay out, okay? But if we pull back, find support, I would love to buy to get back to the key level. But if we hit the key level first, then nah, I'll stay out. Okay, so that's my plan for platinum. Silver, clear breakouts. All I can do now is hope for a retest. All right, hope for a retest. And yeah, we'll see. Okay, we'll see if that happens. Hopefully. I'm just reminded of the last trade I took on silver, which was way back in August last year. I closed out in October. I remember some of us held the trades. I think Captain, who is still here, a few of us were able to buy and profit off of this. So we've been doing this for quite a while. What else? Any questions here? Because if no questions, then I can move on to cryptos. So, any questions on metals or indices? Okay. No questions. Interesting. Then we move over to cryptos. So I think they're pulling back now, but yeah, let me see. So Litecoin went long. They're all in profit, right? I think I posted these guys less than 2 weeks ago, if I'm correct. Right? Yeah, less than 2 weeks ago. So I bought all 5 of them. Litecoin, Ripple, Doge, ADA, which is Cardano, and Avalanche. So Litecoin is in profit. Ripple is also in profit, doing really well. Doge is also in profit. Yeah, close to hitting the next key level. So Doge is in profit. Cardano is in profit as well. So take this back here. So Cardano is in profit as well, and then Avax is also in profit. So all 5 of them. Although, like I said, I bought 5, but all the cryptos are kind of trying to push, and I've been pushing the last few weeks. But these are the 5 I have. So these 5, in connection with the indices trades and metals and currency trades, make up 17 positions in my portfolio, like I explained. When I take GU this evening, that will make it 18, right? Yes, that will make it 18 positions in my portfolio. If GU plays out, I'm expecting about 70 hour on the running trades right now, if everything plays out. But since I'm adding GU, if GU plays out, we're expecting about 75, 73, 75. So not a fixed amount, just a range, right? Well above 70 is what we're expecting if all of these trades play out, including GU that I'm about to take long term. What is the point? That even though I have 17 open trades, it is possible that some of them might not play out. They are almost all in profit. except one, but it's still possible that they might not all play out. That's okay. That's fine. But if for any reason, if just maybe if they all play out, then yes, the year will be extremely beautiful. It's already beautiful, but it'll be much more than that. So this is the most I have. Currencies, indices, cryptos, and metals. So please, if you have any questions on any of these things, do what to ask. Also, if you have any questions on anything else, trading, you can do what to ask. Okay.
Hello, good evening.
Oh yes, Noah.
How you doing? Hope you're good.
I'm fine. I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good too. So, are we trashing out the outstanding today?
Yeah, of course, of course. We're doing so. I just wanted to make sure that we didn't have any extra questions first before we do that.
Okay, that's fine. I'll just wait. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Um. So yeah, guys. So any other questions just before we jump into this? All right, let's treat this first then. So Noah, as part of your questions on Thursday, you said you had difficulty understanding market structure. Is that correct?
Yes, you're correct.
Okay. So, can you briefly explain to me what you understand? So you don't understand everything, but let me see to an extent. What do you understand about market structure? How it works? What can you say about?
Okay. What I can actually say about market structure is that the market forms or gives you um structures, higher highs, higher lows, or lower highs, lower lows, depending on its movement or direction at the moment. That's what I can say about structure. But okay, and from those movements, it forms the support or the resistance. So now the higher time frames have their structure same to the lower time frames. In fact, as you come down each time frame or as you go up each time frame, they have their structures. They have their own support and resistance levels as well. So putting this all together, I I think for me, the market just creates its structures. So this little knowledge is what I know about the market and its structures.
Okay, thank you so much. And you're correct, very correct. What you have said is true. But what don't you understand? What would you
Okay,
say you don't understand?
okay. What I would say I don't understand is, for example, you can have the monthly market looking like the monthly chart, sorry, or structure looking like it's ranging, but now on maybe the daily, it's giving you an upward trend or maybe a downward trend, so to say. Now, where these issues come in is where you're not able to pinpoint your supports and resistance from the daily. You're not being able to pinpoint change of structure, like switching from a downtrend to an uptrend, and not also being able to get these um, key levels. Yes, key levels. So the whole thing is just a bit complicated. Yes. And also most times I don't get to understand the pullbacks, like the length of pullbacks and all that. So it's basically, it has just been so confusing to me. most times I want to try, I spot something and I feel it's it, and then the next minute you're like, it still wants to come down to more before heading back up. Maybe it has changed the structure. So it's complicated for me. So I just want you to throw more light on it. Show some examples.
All right, of course, we'll do just that. So let's explain. Same thing you said, right? Same thing. What you're very correct. All of these time frames have their structures, and in most cases, you find a higher high, a higher low, lower high, lower low, depending on the trend you're looking at. But we'll start with saying this. The easiest way to understand market structure is starting on the higher time frames. Okay. Now one might say that it really doesn't matter, because if you come to a chart and remove the pair and the time frame, you can draw market structures, and that is correct. Okay. But that statement is sometimes misunderstood. Even though you can draw structures on any time frames, you see, when you start drawing structures on the higher time frames, it paints a story that the lower time frames cannot paint for you on their own. Okay, so I'll give an example. The market moves from one point to the other. That's how it moves, but it would not do that in a straight line. It will tend to form higher highs and higher lows. It will move like in a zigzag way before it gets to its destination. For example, we can have something like this. Okay, so we can have something like this. Simply put, what happened here was that price moved from one key level to the next. That's all that happened. But you can see now that it didn't do that in a straight line. Okay, it would do everything but move in a straight line. So how can you understand market structure? First of all, the higher time frame levels. So I'm using key levels here. We can also call them support and resistance levels. If you draw the support and resistance levels on the higher time frame, you see it paints a better picture for you. Because looking at what we're seeing here, you know that as price is moving, you know to an extent that the next destination is this. You don't know for certain how price will get there, but you know, not with certainty, but to a great extent, that the next destination is here. So already it gives you, as people will call it, a bias. So now you're looking out for opportunities to buy, right? And let me see if I have this. Okay. So now I will start drawing support and resistance levels here to make this structure much better. But now I've not done it, so this will not make so much sense. But let me do this now and show you. Sorry, where we go. So what I'm doing here is, you can see that price is respecting certain areas as support. So we break out, a pullback, we break above, we don't test, we break out, we come back, test the support, higher low, right? We don't form a new higher high, but we come back and we form equal lows. So let me take that again. Higher highs, higher highs, higher highs. We have higher lows, higher lows. So this is supposed to be the next higher low, but a higher low is only confirmed if it can form a higher high. So what it means is, when price makes a higher high and pulls back, the question you have is, will this be the higher low? But you see, that question is hardly answered, because the question is only answered if the next high is formed. So sorry, Loa, I hope we're here. All right, I hope on the same page.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Oh, all right, cool. So the question is not answered until the next high is formed. So you see now that even though price is not from the new high, we will not force this as the higher low, because now we came down and we formed equal lows. So you see, before the new high is formed, which is this was the higher low, because it's the low that formed the high. So when price forms this, but then breaks below it, you see, we don't panic as some persons would. Okay, we don't panic when this happens. We don't see that necessarily as a change of structure. The market is reversing, not necessarily. Why? Because we look at the previous story. What was happening before that? You see, price is not moving in a straight line, but it maintains structure. You see, so it formed the higher high here, formed a higher low. It was a question: is this going to be the higher low? It went back. It didn't form new highs. It formed equal highs. So you see, at this point, this was not the higher low. This was not confirmed as the higher low. Now, price came back. When price is coming back, what we're watching for is how price will react to this previous low. You see, it didn't break past it. It formed equal lows. And then it made a new high. So, cool. This is the higher low that makes the new high. Now, it pulls back, forms a higher low because, of course, this low makes a new high. Now, it pulls back again. It's trying to form a higher low. But now, this low does not make the high. Then it breaks. Now, we don't panic at this point because look at the previous low. It is what made it high. So we come down here and form equal lows. Now, this low is what makes the high. This low is what makes the new high. This low is what makes the new high. So this gives you, when you have the higher time frame levels, like on the monthly, for example, you draw the resistance, you draw the support. You have a range that you're working with. Now you want to see what price is currently doing within the range. What's the stronger support? What's the monthly time frame support within the range? What's the weekly time frame support within the range? These are things you look for. Now, I would explain something to you using an actual example because I think it will make more sense that way. So, let me look at, I think it was, pound card. Let me see. Beautiful. So, this is pound card. So, let me show you using this. Okay. So, now we have a high, right? Lower, a high. We have a higher low. Okay. A high, a higher low. Now this low forms the new high. Okay, this low forms the new high. Now we formed the new high and price pulled back. You see, when price pulled back, we're expecting this to be the next higher low that will form the new high. But did that happen?
No.
Exactly, it did not. So this low did not form any new highs. Instead, it formed equal highs. And then price breaks it. But you see, we don't panic. Why? Because of this very reason. Because the previous low has come to serve as support. You get. Now this low did not form the new high. Now price comes back and now is forming equal lows. Now price would bounce here, but they still did not form a new high. What then happens? It comes back and forms equal lows yet again. So you see, the whole time it maintains structure. The whole time it maintains structure. And then what happened? Boom. New highs. So now we can confirm that we have a higher low, right? Because now we have a new higher high. Exactly. Now the market puts a new high and comes down and forms a higher low. So at the time, I remember when price was here, I said to the community, it's a question. Is this going to be the higher low? We can't answer that until price forms a new high. Which it did. So this is the higher low. So you see, in the grand grand scheme of things, this is the high low we're working with on pound card, which is why if price breaks this black line, I'm not exactly worried. So you see where the confidence comes from. I'm not worried if price breaks this line, although we're expecting this line to serve as the new higher low, but we can't confirm that until price forms another high. So if price breaks the black line, I expect price to come down here and test as equal lows. It's not like a fact written on paper, but based on examples, based on experience, this is what is likely to happen. So you see that the whole time, pound card is just maintaining structure.
Okay. So
Let's see.
sorry.
I think we have another example. Okay, go ahead. That's the question.
I how are you being able to know the the monthly key levels, the weekly key levels, and the daily key levels here?
Okay.
Like,
So okay, go ahead.
I hope you understand the question.
I do. I don't really use daily key levels. I think I would mostly use weekly, right? What I mean is, if I draw my key levels on the higher time frames, and I'm trying to draw these rectangles are mostly monthly or weekly levels, not daily. First off, okay. And how would I plot weekly levels, for example? So let's look at this. Resistance, right? Resistance the whole time, and our price came down to our support. So it's clear. It's a level. It's not a key level, but it's a level. It's a level of support right now. You get. Same thing with this. Most times I will start from the monthly. Okay, if I'm going to draw levels that are not key levels, I would usually start from the monthly. Right. So you see this. So we bounced, rejected here, bounced here, bounced here. We're rejecting here as well. So you see why I have the level here. I hope that makes sense. So, like I said, these levels are levels of support and resistance. So, on the higher time frames, you can spot them. And another thing is, these levels are not supposed to be stressful, although sometimes they are, but it's supposed to be clear, right? You can just clearly see that price is reacting to these levels in the past. You get. So whenever you see these levels, don't think that they are daily levels. Just that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Can we look at another example? Let me see. I think it was a card.
Check please.
Let's see. Okay, so this is a little complicated, but same story here. Hold on, let me see. So although we're coming from like a different trend, but now we have highs. Okay, we have a low. Okay, lower high, a lower low. Right. So we formed a lower low. What is the next thing we can expect to get after a lower low? What do you think is the next thing we can expect to get after a lower low? Lower, do you know?
I'm with you. We should have a lower high after a lower low.
Good. That is correct. We can expect a lower high. So what do you think is happening now? We formed the lower low, but right now with this price action, what do you think is happening?
With the current price action, I think Okay, we're forming a lower high.
Good. We're trying to form a lower high, but again, it's the question, right? We're asking, is this going to be the lower high? Can we confirm that it's a lower high? Not yet. Okay, we cannot fully confirm that. We cannot bet our chest on it, bet the house on it that this is lower high. But based on price action, it is seemingly the case, which is why I said that we can expect downside continuation. But now this low has to give us a new low. I mean, sorry, this high has to give us a new low to continue the overall trend. Does that make sense? In this way, we can then confirm that, all right, this is in fact the lower high.
Sorry, Cassie. Where's the beginning of this picture? Let's start from there because I'm a bit confused here. Is the
Uh,
are we
you might be
are
more
we getting downtrend from?
when you downtrend, yes, when you downtrend, but you might be more confused because this trend is a little delicate. But overall, when you downtrend, okay, and we have been in
Yeah,
the downtrend.
that's one of the issues. Like just like I told you, the higher time frame might be consolidating, but you're having an an immediate trend with the lower time frames. So from where exactly do we start establishing this picture? Like how do you then know that okay, this was where in the consolidation this change trend? I don't know if you get me.
Okay,
Like
I do.
from the bigger picture that was ranging. Okay, now you come down. Okay, for example, let's say you established your view from the monthly time frame, but then now you come down to the daily time frame, and the daily time frame that was previously on an upward trend is then showing you a downward trend. From where do you find the change of trend? How exactly do you navigate this?
Okay. So I would answer your question with how I sold AD card. All right. Um,
Okay.
so let me take this back to here. Sorry, a little more. All right, good. So question, AD card. Why did I sell? From the weekly time frame. In fact, from the daily time frame, we were trending to the upside. So why did I sell? Does it not then seem like I was trading against the trend? Well, which trend? I trade in the direction of the overall trend. Okay, which is why I said when you start on the higher time frame. When I mean higher time frame, not the weekly. In most cases, not the monthly. It depends on what you're trading, like the time frames you're trading. But now look at the monthly time frame. Okay, um, and now we don't just have the time frame, but then we have levels that are drawn out. What do you think is happening? Let me take this even one can do. Good. What do you think is happening right now? I mean, of course, we know what happens to this trend, but can we not see that price is testing this as resistance? That price has gotten to a support level and now is coming back to a resistance level. Is that not the case?
Okay.
I hope
Yes.
we're on the same page. So we see now that we have a downtrend. Okay, we hit the key level, we dropped, came here to this resistance level, we broke above, broke back in, we dropped. Now we're back here again. So from the higher time frame perspective, we're selling, right? We're in a downtrend. Okay. So now we're looking for entry patterns to help us sell. Personally, I have my entry patterns that I've tested, patterns that work for me, okay, and work in line with my key levels. Now, most of the answers to your questions will come during back testing sessions when you test for these things. You get. But now this is what I'm trying to say. Now, as I scale down to the daily time frame, you see, I am no longer worried about what all of this looks like. You get. All I'm looking for is just my pattern. And what is my pattern? In this case, it is like what we call a head and shoulder pattern, right? Some persons call it a white off pattern, a week off pattern, but it's kind of the same thing. I want to see price get to the key level, Okay, break past it, break below it, and test is a pattern I'm looking for. Okay, it is the exact pattern I'm looking for on USGPY, but I've not found it. So if I play this exactly, boom, it breaks below, and then it will test as resistance. This is what I'm looking for. So now how did I navigate this? Simply for what I'm looking for on the onset, at the onset. The sell in the direction of the overall trend. And that's why I can now come out here and exactly up until what we have now. A downtrend. So was it hard to do this when you start on the daily time frame? Yes, it was. But if you start on the higher time frames, it's fairly easier. So like I said, with the higher time frame, the noise is less. Okay, that's why I said it is easier to spot it when you go on the higher time frames. The noise is less. Okay, the noise is less. So when you pick what you're looking for out on the higher time frames, when you scale down, you just follow through. It's like it's a path, and you just follow through the path. You don't start thinking about the path on the lower time frame. You do all of that on the higher time frames. So let me give another example. Let me see if I can find something else. If I can use diverse examples, it will make more sense. EU. Yes, EU. I think EU had a reversal, exactly. So let me do this with EU. So EU was moving to the downside without a doubt. Okay, it was a downtrend. But at some point, it started to move sideways. Okay, so what am I looking for? How would I navigate EU? Let me take this back. So at this point, I am still looking for sales. Like I explained to Carlos and the rest of us in our last session, I was not going to touch EU in this range. I will not touch this guy in this range. Okay, I will wait for price to break out, pull back, and I'll sell it to the downside. Or I'll wait for price to break out of this guy, pull back, and I'll buy to the upside. And since price is moving in this range, I will not just sell and buy. Okay, so this might look confusing, but now you see what I've done to remove the stress out of EU. I'm waiting for a clear pattern, a breakout that would signify that, okay, we're breaking past the support level and then we can continue to the downside. Interestingly, we broke out. Our price did not give us a flow through, but let me show you what I meant. So we broke out, right? And when this happened, this was way back in February. When this happened, I scaled down to lower time frames. All right, I scaled down and I was looking for sales. Right? I was waiting for a pullback retest to sell, and I got that. All right, I got a retest. Boom, I sold. Right, I sold right here, and the market stopped me out. Exactly. So I took a loss, trying to understand market. So it's not new to me, but this is just to explain to you what I was looking for before I sold. Okay, so I did that, and now the price went back into the range. So I want to continue playing the candles to explain why I will now buy after a breakout. Good. So now you might be wondering, long term it looks like a downtrend. So why am I trying to buy? Well, because in this case we are now switching to an uptrend. Okay, a low, a high. What is seemingly a higher low, which is from a new high. So you see, the downtrend is changing. So even though it might be a downtrend long term, I mean, the trend can change. So you see, the breakouts of these levels are what help me to identify these changes. So since we had the breakout here, the question was, will price come back here and give us a higher low, a support? Well, we didn't know that, but we asked the question and we bought. And exactly, Play that. So what am I waiting for now? If it breaks out, of course, we'll continue the uptrend. But if it doesn't, it can switch back to a downtrend. So you see, market structure is not something you understand at a goal. It's not something you understand like one day. Okay? But the steps we're explaining is that you start on the higher time frames. Okay? If you can reach out to me on Discord after now. Send me your chart. Send me what you have drawn out, and I can tell you if you need to make an adjustment. You get, because when you try these things out yourself, it will help you understand if you're getting the point, if you're making progress. So if you can, please send me a text on Discord. Are you on Discord? Are you in the community?
Yes, I am. I'm on Discord. So what name should I look for?
All
Cassie?
right. No. Sorry. Let me get that. Hold on. Okay. So sorry. Hold on. All right. So my Discord username is xb2569. XB2569. Did you get that?
Sorry, I'm coming. XB256.
69.
XB25619.
No, 69. 69.
Okay, 69. Okay.
Yeah, 69. All right. Sorry, hold on.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, I hope this makes sense. Something else you can do is when you're trying to understand market structure, you look for pairs that are trending first. It might be harder for you to understand the structure of pairs that are ranging. For example, AD card, NZ card might be stressful at first. So you have to pay attention to pairs that are trending. Okay, pound card, euro card, the GPYs, right? They're like my favorites to work with. Pound NZD, pound AUD, pound USD. The CHF pairs. Just try out pairs that are trading first and see if it is fairly easier to understand it before you can now start looking at maybe chaotic pairs. You get. So I think you want to try this out. So and then please reach out to me, right? Just let me see what you've done. Okay, that way I can know if you make a problem.
Okay, that will be fine. I'll do just that.
All right. But yeah, I hope that made sense. And any more questions, please, just before we wrap up. Just before we wrap up. All right.
Oh,
Okay, so in the absence of any questions, I think this is where we'll close the curtain for our session today. It was a very fun session, very insightful. I think in July, I think we've taken two new trades, like two new currency trades aside crypto trades. Yeah, so far so good. So I will see you guys on Thursday. Okay. You'll have a wonderful week, and I'll see you guys on Thursday. Thank you guys for showing up today. All right. Most my happy.
All right, Katie. Thank you very much. Appreciate.
Of course, Alex.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, take care. All right, you guys take care.